Ooh, things aren't looking too good for Miss Candace Owens. Yeah, the people who helped to jumpstart her career have just cut ties with her. Mm-hmm. For as long as Candace was spewing anti-blackness, for as long as she was denigrating and belittling the black community and black people, they had no problems with it. They were supporting her, they were promoting her, they were uplifting her, and they were pushing her up. But now that she's speaking about the Jewish community, now they want to cut ties with her. Now that Candace is speaking against genocide, yep, now she is ignorant, she is immoral, she's all of these things because she is not for genocide. I told y'all, no matter what, black people are not going to support oppression and genocide. Even Candace Owens is not going to support it. In this statement, they talk about how they reached out to Candace 6 years ago and invited her to some type of convention that took place over the weekend, and they introduced her to people like Charlie Kirk and the movers and shakers over at Turning Point USA, and that started her out on her way. They even quote Candace Owens in this statement as saying, "This really is the conference where everything started for me. I started my career, my political career on YouTube, making just funny satirical videos, and I got an email from David Horowitz inviting me to this conference, and let me just tell you what a big deal it was for me. I had no connections whatsoever." End quote. And like I said, she got hooked up with Charlie Kirk and Turning Point USA, and that's where she got her start to get her to where she is today. They go on to show or talk about some examples of things that Candace has said that they have issue with. They said, for example, she has falsely compared Israel to the segregated South. This is the sort of ignorant apartheid state slander that we expect from Black Lives Matter and the Jew killers of the Middle East. There they go, bringing in black people. We just trying to mind our business, and we are not, no matter what you say, we are not going to support genocide, nor are we going to support an oppressive state. They go on to give another example of what Candace said. They say Candace implied that Israel was engaged in genocide for defending itself against the atrocities committed by Hamas. That's the kind of genocidal lie we expect to hear from Hamas. I absolutely believe that Israel has a right to defend itself against terrorists. And I also believe that Palestinians have a right to defend themselves from terrorists. And I believe that Palestinians are not Hamas. And I believe that Israel has long crossed the line of defending itself. They have now crossed the line into exterminating an entire group of people. They give another example of what Candace said that they have an issue with. She suggested that to remove the Hamas auxiliary, Students for Justice in Palestine, from campuses would increase anti-Semitism. They say that's what they would expect to hear from the New York Times. Did Candace Owens lie, though? Did she lie when she said removing these groups from campuses would increase anti-Semitism? She didn't. They removed those organizations off campuses and anti-Semitism has increased. Now, do you have some everyday hateful, bigoted people that are out there doing some deranged things? Absolutely. But we also have seen some Jewish people out there doing some mean and hateful and deranged things. The more that these Jewish organizations try to silence the critiques of everyday people, the more that they are going to have to deal with people who are being anti-Semitic towards them. When you try to take away people's voices, when you try to silence them and try to take away their freedom of speech, that's going to cause some retaliation. In my opinion, critiquing Israel does not translate, in my opinion, to wishing harm on Jewish people. Period. They go on in the rest of the statement to further demean and belittle Candace, calling her ignorant and obtuse. And they end their statement with, "Goodbye, Candace. We will continue to support those who truly strive to raise up the movement for liberty and life, not selfishly tear it apart." Translation: we will support those who support Israel. Full stop. No questions asked. Don't divert from whatever it is that we tell you to think and believe. Y'all let me know your thoughts down below.